Go back to your cubby and go to take a nap. The characters are kind of terrible people. More people need to pick up this fucking duology. Like, oh, you big dumb idiots. You like each other. She's a thick bitch. Well, hello. Welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about some friggin' books that I really enjoyed this year. Talking about my favorite books I read this year, my top rated books this year. And I have a nice tidy number between there's two 4.75s that I rated 4.75, and then the rest are 5 stars, and it's a nice tidy 10. So it's actually a top 10 this year. I will also talk about the few most surprising books that I read this year, as well as I'll go through my 4.5s as I did it last year. I don't know if I did the year before, but I'm doing it again this year. And I did try to put these in some kind of order. As per usual though, on any given day, the specific ranking might change or be different. Who's to say? But coming in at number 10 at a 4.75 rating, we have Look Closer by David Ellis. This is an adult mystery thriller, kind of a domestic thriller, I guess. This was recommended on Monet's channel. And yeah, this one was just such a page turner. I don't pick up thrillers super often. And when I do though, I tend to like them. But it's one of those things where like, I don't typically own them. I don't think I own any thrillers, even ones I've loved. I used to own like all of Gillian Flynn's books because I loved all of those, but it's like I'm probably never gonna reread them because the thrill of reading these types of books is all the like twists and turns and like holy fucking shit. Like, and a lot of times, and in this book as well, the characters are kind of terrible people a lot of the time. They're morally gray at best, usually. And that was definitely the case here. We're following a couple living in Chicago who they have secrets. They have a lot of secrets. Hi, kitty. No. And one of them might be a killer. And we're trying to figure out who and if either one of them are, and if so, which one, or maybe someone else. Like, it's a whole thing, and it was very entertaining. I don't want to pick her up, but she is just so cute, pawing at me. You want to tell the people about my next one? You're just going to sit here? Yeah. I think she would just sit here forever if I let her. Oh my God, you're so cute. I just want to squeeze you. You're so cute, but I gotta put you down. Okay. Number 9 is The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Leong. This is another 4.75, the last of the 4.75s. And this is a cozy fantasy, very short. I read it initially on NetGalley and e-arc of it, but I bought a copy because I've tried not a shit ton of cozy fantasy, but I've tried a few. Like, I haven't tried, the Travis Baldree, I always remember the second book, which is like Bookshops and Bone Dust. What's the fucking first one? Whatever, you know the one I'm talking about. And I haven't tried that one, but like I read House on the Cerulean Sea years ago and I really liked that. I have tried other cozy fantasy of TJ Klune's and not vibed with it at all. And then I tried a regular Society of Witches or whatever, Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, that one. And like, it was cute, but I didn't love it. I tried the Spell Shop and I DNF'd it. It's not a genre that tends to really grab me, I guess. I loved it. It was so fucking cute. This little found family is just precious, and it's so low stakes, but there's still like something deeper we're talking about, the thematic elements and everything. There's stuff going on. There's character development. Ma'am, I see you, baby girl. She is like up on her back legs, like with her front paws on my hip and just like pawing at me and yelling at me. But yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend. If you are someone who generally likes cozy fantasy, definitely check it out. But if you're someone like me who kind of is like a little hit or miss with it, I still would say check it out because, and it's short, really short, and just like such a just heartwarming little time. I really liked it. And then getting into the 5-star reads for the year, there are 8 of them. And I put this one at the bottom of the 5-star. So this is number 8, simply because it's a reread. I've read it before and it's like a childhood fave. in actuality, like if I had read this for the first time right now as a 38-year-old woman, would it be 5 stars? I don't know, probably not. It's very much like a children's, an early reader, young reader, whatever. There's some stuff that's like kind of problematic. It was written long, long ago. It's a classic. When was it published originally? 1906 is when it was first published. And so yeah, there's a few things like with gender norms, I guess, of like what girls do and what boys do. Some crap like that. It's kind of, okay, whatever. But it's just such a nostalgic read for me where I'm like, yeah, 5 stars. Because I read this so many times as a kid. I have a copy that I got from my aunt and uncle that is battered as all fuck. And then number 7 is also a reread. I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. This one, though, is always 5 stars. Like, I think, is this the 4th time I've read it now? Oh, I have the book plate in the paperback. But yeah, I love it. I love it so fucking much. Jandy Nelson, the mind that she has, I need her to publish a book every month, please. Now then, they probably wouldn't be such high quality, but a book a year would be delightful, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But anything she publishes, I will pick up. This is young adult contemporary, which is very much not my typical vibe and can very much be annoying to me and like, okay, like just tough for me to like really get behind. Lily, oh my God, now she's over here on my other side. Do not rub on the tripod. Go back to your cubby and go to take a nap. Yeah, this is not my typical thing though, but anything Jandy Nelson writes, I will read. Literally anything and everything. Please give me more of her writing because it's top tier. And then number 6, we have another Jandy Nelson. This was a new release in 2024, When the World Tips Over. Once again, young adult contemporary. She always, the 3 books that she has published, they all have queer characters. There's thematic stuff with like coming of age in general for teenagers, but specifically in a lot of these cases with queer teens kind of coming into their identity. There is just a lot of conversation about identity and the human experience and family and friendships, just our relationships we have, the human connections, and they all are a little hard-hitting at times, pull at your heartstrings, make me cry for sure, and this was no exception. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I'll Give You the Sun is still my favorite, and I need to reread The Sky is Everywhere because I don't know which one would be number 2 and which one would be number 3 out of this one and The Sky is Everywhere. I'm not sure, but they're all fucking 5 stars, so. And then coming in at number 5, yes, number 5, A Tyranny of Queens by Faves Meadows. This is actually the new, I think, re-edited edition because the first book got republished in this design, a different design, but the matching design, I think last year or either in 2024 or in 2023, that one got published, re-edited. And so I'm assuming this one is probably re-edited as well, not sure, but this edition is coming out January 28th. But yeah, I read it last year from the other edition that already exists. And yeah, I fucking love this duology. Oh my God, it's so good. Like, I need to reread it because it's also adult fantasy, portal fantasy, epic quest, very queer normative world that our main character goes into. She's from our world on Earth, our modern Earth, and she steps into a portal and follows someone into a portal and goes to this other realm with fantastical creatures, lots of politics going on, rebellion and war a-brewing. It's just, there's so much to it. We kind of have a cast of characters, and yeah, I want to reread it like ASAP, and I'm going to reread these editions from Angry Robot. Fucking loved it. 10 out of 10 would recommend. More people need to pick up this fucking duology. Coming in at number 4, we have The Blood-Dimmed Tide by Stephen Arion. This is a sequel to The Judas Blossom, which I did quite enjoy the year before. I don't know if that was one of my top rated ones. It might have been, because I gave it at least 4 stars. But this one, 5 stars. Like, I had such a fun time with this shit. Oh my God. The next book is coming out in what? Let me see. Let me remind myself. Yeah, the 3rd and final book is coming out in May, and I cannot fucking wait, and I probably will reread the first 2 before that, because, yeah, it was addicting. Oh my God. And it's adult, historical fantasy. And I say this all the time, the first book, the like magic and fantastical elements don't really come in until the very end. And then this one, we have so much more of that. We have people who are, they're not immortal, eternal beings, but they live for hundreds and hundreds of years. And I've learned about myself this year. I fucking love, it really got solidified. I think I already knew this, like, conceptually, like, it had been in my brain before, but, like, it got really solidified this year that I love long-lived characters who meddle in the world, who are moving pieces around the board behind the scenes, whether for nefarious purposes or benevolent purposes or morally gray purposes. I love it. Like, I'm thinking of a few series right now and a few pieces of media that do that, and I eat it up every single fucking time. So yeah, I was addicted to this. Another one that is severely underhyped, in my opinion, and it's following like the Mongol Empire's invasion into Persia, and Stephen Aryan is Persian himself. And so, yeah, there's all the historical stuff. There are characters in this who are real people in history, but he's obviously taken liberties with elements of the historical facts and everything. And it's fascinating. I love it. And the top 3 books, can anyone guess? If you've watched recent videos, you should probably be able to tell. There are 3 books from the same series. It's a trilogy. And in order, I think, I don't know, but they're all 5 stars, so it doesn't matter. But Before They Are Hanged, The Last Argument of Kings, and then The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie, which the actual publication order is like this. But yeah, I think that's my ranking, is Before They Are Hanged at number 3, Last Argument of Kings at number 2, and The Blade Itself at number 1, I think. Very interchangeable. But yeah, dude, I fucking love this shit. I read them all in December, back to back, and I think it's been a long time since I was able to marathon a trilogy like this. I'm gonna set them down, sorry. I'll set it right here. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had like an adult fantasy series to marathon, and I got so engrossed with these. It's adult fantasy, grimdark, very low magic in the world. Not like a lot of magic. It's political, military, like wars going on, and yeah, just all the machinations of everyone and various pieces moving across the board. Logan Ninefingers is my fucking fave. Love Logan Ninefingers. Also love Dogman. I also love RD. And they're all great though. All such great characters. Like, truly fantastic. Kicking myself in the ass for not reading these sooner, but also kind of nice that I read them when I had like my foot surgery and I was kind of like laid up and whatever, and the end of the year, right around Christmas too, and it was a nice little kind of, not quite the last thing I read in the year, but kind of a nice like end cap to the year to have read these all in December. So yeah, definitely my faves of the year for sure, like no question. And okay, getting into my most surprising, there's 4 like I did last year, as we can see here, and 3 of them are books I had just talked about that were faves. Cause yeah, The Blade Itself, like just the First Law trilogy in general, but I bought the books a while back. I bought the whole trilogy, obviously with the hope of enjoying it and like crossing my fingers that I quite liked it. But I definitely was surprised with how much I loved it. I was just like, what the hell is happening right now? Like, as soon as I started it, I was like, oh shit, I'm about to have a good fucking time. And I did. So it was quite surprising. I hoped I would like it, but yeah, I fucking loved it. And then, yeah, An Accident of Stars, the Foz Meadows duology. The first book I didn't give 5 stars, but I think I gave it 4.5, so I'll talk about it in a minute. And yeah, then the second book I gave 5 stars, and it was just like some random, I don't even remember where I like got the recommendation for it. Let me see if I had it tagged. Oh yeah, it was a Storygraph recommendation. So one of the major wins from those Storygraph recommendations that I go through sometimes So yeah, it just was this random thing that I'd never heard anyone talk about ever. I recognized the author's name from the other duology that they have, the first book being A Strange and Stubborn Endurance, which I also quite enjoyed. And did I read that one first? Or did I read this one first? I can't quite remember. But at any rate, once again, just something random that I just was like, never even heard of it. Cool, I'll check it out, I guess. I don't know, Portal Fantasy. We'll see. And I fucking loved it. And then yeah, Teller of Small Fortunes, because as I was saying, don't typically love cozy fantasy. I've DNF'd some. I've been very like lackluster with some. And so I went into it like hopeful as per usual, but kind of went into that one being like, we'll see. Like I'm gonna finish it. It's short and it's a NetGalley arc, but I don't know if I'm gonna really vibe with it. And then I really, really enjoyed it. And then Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. This one, again, not 5 stars, but I can't remember what I rated it. And it's adult contemporary romance, which is very much not my jam usually. Like, I've read several of the kind of faves with that. I mean, I've only read one Emily Henry, and I was like, okay. And then I read, I think Take a Hint, Danny Brown. And I also was like, yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it, but I had a lot of issues with it, and I just didn't have such a fun time as everybody else seems to. And Yours Truly, there are issues. And the first book too, Part of Your World, like there's character decisions and like character behaviors that I'm like, oh my God, you're stressing me the fuck out. But I don't know what it is, man. Abby Jimenez, her writing and the way she writes her characters and the kind of the progression of their relationship and everything, she does it in a way that while sometimes they stress me out, in this one in particular, more so than the first one, it was kind of like, I was more so seeing it as like, oh, you big dumb idiots, you like each other. Instead of being deeply like fucking annoyed and like, just fucking communicate. Like it was kind of more so like, but they're so cute. Like I was just enamored with the couple and their dynamic together. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. And okay, now I will get into kind of, I guess, my almost faves, the 4.5 star ratings I had for the year. There are only 9 of these, and I will start with number 9. And the reason it is the last is simply because it was a reread, The Oleander Sword by Tasha Suri. This is my favorite of the series, I think. I don't know why, I vibed with it more. I just really liked the character development and the relationship development, I guess, and the ending. There were so many things where I was like, oh shit, oh my God, and that was a fun time, so that's why this one. And then the Old Guard Book 1 and 2 by Greg Rucka. I don't own these. I probably will. And I don't know when like a 3rd volume is actually coming out. There is a volume of like short stories from this world that I do want to get. I'll have to buy that though because the library does not have it. Sad times. Number 6 for the 4.5s is In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. And the only reason I rated this, because it's a memoir, but it is dealing with abuse and abusive relationships and being in one. This is from the perspective of a queer woman in a relationship with a woman. So it's a little different than like what my experience was, but I just thought it was really well done. So I wanted to give it a rating as far as like the writing of it all and the exploration of it all. And I enjoyed it. There were, the writing, I didn't give it 5 stars because of kind of the format of it. Like sometimes it felt a little disjointed, I guess, but I did thoroughly enjoy the execution of like the thematic elements. Number 5 is Annibot by Sierra Greer. I'm gonna make a separate video, I think, talking about this. I'm either gonna do both of these things or just do one. I'm either going to make an individual review for this book and talk about some of the criticisms I have seen recently from people who admittedly have not been in abusive relationships and who like completely missed the point, I guess. And that's fine, like people perceive things differently, but there's been a few like comments I've seen from people talking about a certain element of this book that feels incredibly dismissive to the experience of people who have been in abusive relationships. And as someone who has, it like set me off a little bit seeing some of the commentary. So I kind of want to do a separate thing of this. I also do want to do a video kind of talking about various books that talk about abuse that I have read and ones that I've really enjoyed, and just talking about that element of them specifically and kind of recommending them. But I don't know when that will come, but I'm definitely going to do that one. I don't know if I'm going to also do a separate one just talking about this one, and like, I don't want to say like what people are getting wrong, but like just I want people to really think about how they're talking about books dealing with subjects like this, I guess. When you know, it's obvious from the fucking synopsis that it's a book about abusive relationships. Yes, it's in like a sci-fi framework, but the point of the book is dealing with abusive relationships and like looking at that and exploring it and what it's like and all of that. And so some of the shit people say, it feels very like, that's not what people are saying, but it's similar feeling to when in real life people will be like, "Ugh, why do you stay? I would just leave. I would beat him up if he said that to me, or I would fight a man. I would kill a man if he ever said something like that to me or treated me that way, or I would leave immediately at the first sign of that." And it's like easy to say. I said it before in the past also. Very easy to say, but very dismissive of how fucking hard that actually is when you're in it. It's a similar feeling that I got, I guess. That's not what people were saying, but the dismissiveness of that. And it just, yeah, I was messaging my friends like, I need to talk to somebody because it's pissing me off. But anyway, I really enjoyed this. Not a fave, but like an almost fave for all of that, for the conversation about abuse and what it's like to be a woman in an abusive relationship. So, and like your willpower, your free will, your strength of will, the manipulation, whatever. This is not the time for the review, but I liked it. Number 4 is Death of Dulgath by Michael J. Sullivan. This is volume 3 of Ryeria Chronicles, which I am reading through kind of at a medium pace. I'm not rushing through it because Ryeria is not my fave of the world of Elan. Legends of the First Empire is my favorite, and Ryeria is fun and everything, and I love Royce and Hadrian as characters for sure, but it's not what I prefer, I guess, from Michael J. Sullivan. But this one has been my fave so far. Really, really enjoyed it. The character development we got, the relationship development between Royce and Hadrian, and also a major Easter egg we got, and it was really cool. So I just had a fun time with this one. And then Death Beside the Seaside by T.E. Kinsey. I put this one like towards the top of the list, and it felt kind of silly because I'm like, it's just like a cozy historical mystery. It's this longer going series. I'm not even caught all the way up with it, but they're just like episodic little cozy mystery jaunts with Lady Hardcastle and her best friend / maid Flo. But this one was just so much fucking fun. My reading experience with it was just such a good time. Such a good time. So that's why it's towards the top of the list. Then we have Esarhaddon by Michael J. Sullivan. I just had to show this beauty right here. This is the standard cover, and I've tabbed it to high hell. She's a thick bitch. But yeah, I love these faux leather bounds. Ugh, so pretty. So pretty. But yeah, this is the third and final book in the Rise and Fall series by Michael J. Sullivan, which is the most recently finished series in the larger world of Elan. And yeah, it was longer going, and that's why I didn't give it 5 stars. There were several times where the pacing was a little off for me. And the main character, there's character development and like whatever, and it makes sense a little bit why he is the way he is. And like I said, there is character development. By the end of the book, I didn't hate him or anything, but in the beginning, there was a time where I was just like, he's a little insufferable as like a main character to follow, and I didn't really, like, the reading experience wasn't as like fun or enjoyable because I was like, he's kind of driving me crazy being like this weird misogynistic creep kind of, and like incel-ass behavior a little bit in his like younger years. He grew and everything, but yeah, it was just like, ugh. And then on top of the pacing, but still really loved it. 4.5 stars, obviously, is a good rating. And the top of the 4.5s is An Accident of Stars, which I have talked about, but yeah, part of this duology. and fun times, man. Very, very underhyped. More people need to pick it up. If you like adult fantasy, just check it out. Give it a shot, all right? Maybe you won't like it, but I just thought it was really, really well done and really unique and cool, a very cool world. So there we go. Those are all the things that I just really, really loved this year. Some faves and some almost faves. If you have read any of these, let me know in the comments what your thoughts were, or if any of them are on your TBR and you're keen to check them out, let me know which ones. Or just leave an emoji to say hello and make your presence known. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you all have a wonderful day and a happy new year, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.